Hi everyone, we're going to be talking about RRSP today. I hope you're having fun and taking care of yourself. Let's start. There are a few things that I would like you guys to know about RRSP. Okay, I'm going to start out by giving you some background. The reason RRSPs were introduced in 1957 was because a group of physicians through Canadian Medical Association had raised a concern to the government saying that, people that work for big corporations, they are able to save money for their retirement, but for doctors there is no benefit, or there is no scheme or policy where they could save money for their future. So RRSPs were introduced, and so just remember, they were introduced for people that were most likely in the income level between those days $40,000 to $100,000. Today I can tell you, if you're earning anywhere from $45,000 to $200,000 or $150,000, RRSPs make sense. But if your income is below or above this level, it doesn't really make any sense. And we're going to get into why it doesn't make any sense, okay? So first thing that everybody, the universal truth is that if you deposit money into RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plan, again, it's an account that is dedicated to your SIN number, your social insurance number in Canada, so that you can save money in this account regardless of where you invest. That's your choice, but CRA says here is your number based on your SIN number that you can start saving for your retirement, and anything you put into this account is not going to be taxed at this time, meaning right now. So let's take an example. If my income for 2019 is $100 and I invest $10,000 into RRSP, okay, my income for 2019 would be considered as $90,000. So the tax I pay is going to be calculated on $90,000, not on $100,000. One more thing to remember is whenever I withdraw that $10,000 to use for myself, I will pay tax on that. And just like how our tax system in Canada is step rated, so the lower your income is, less tax you pay. Higher your income, or anything over 100,000, you actually end up paying almost half of your money towards taxes, which I think is a fair, I shouldn't say fair, but I think most countries treat their taxpayers that way. But don't quote me, I don't know every country's tax system. What I refer to RRSP here is mostly known as Registered Retirement Savings Plan in Canada for Canadians, which is similar to 401k in the United States. So we talked about two things. One, tax deduction. So that's a huge benefit. All my clients that are working, they're professionals, they run their businesses, and I find out that they're showing their income anywhere between 45 and 200,000. I make sure that they are benefiting from this tax deduction by saving money into their RRSP retirement program. You can do so much with that saved money. First thing is, of course, you're saving for your retirement. Second is, if I'm buying a first-time home, if I am a Canadian that, starting my life and I want to buy my first home, I could borrow from that RRSP to put towards my down payment of this house without actually incurring any tax right away. Okay, but it's called home buyer's loan. Loan means you have to pay that money back to the government, or you need to pay that loan back so your RRSPs stay intact. Okay, number 4, we're going to talk about spousal RRSP. The simplest form to understand our spousal RRSP is an example. So I am married, my spouse is working, and my spouse is earning $50,000. I am earning $100,000. Now, if I deposit RRSP in my account, I get to pay lower tax on 100,000. So again, going back to the same example, my income is 100,000. I put RRSP into $10,000 into my RRSP account. My income tax will be calculated on $90,000. So that's a huge benefit, right? But what if I withdraw that money year, 2 years, or at the time of my retirement? Now, there are more chances that my spouse loses his job, or 3 years later he decides to sit home and not work, or when we retire he has lower levels of income streams and I have higher level of income. So in that case, what makes sense is I get the benefit of deducting that amount from my tax, but then when I withdraw it, I should withdraw it on his name so that he can benefit from lower tax bracket for himself. Without going into details, if you understand this concept, I'd be so happy. Please do write your comments. So spousal RRSP makes sense when one spouse is earning less money than the other. But there are a lot of consequences if we decide to separate. That money that he has put into my name stays as my money. Okay, so some of those things you have to kind of wrap your head around before you make these decisions. If you've saved up a lot of money in your RRSP and you're wondering how, what else can I do with this money? There are so many things you can do, such as taking on education. If you want to take a course, you want to maybe finish your MBA that you always wanted to and you couldn't, I would say go for it. Take a loan against your RRSP and start working on that program. Sometimes people say, well, can I actually finance my house or my mortgage with the RRSP that I have? Of course you can, and you'll have to pay back to yourself, which is again a very nice way of using your own money to finance your own property, but at the same time keeping that money locked in the registered CRA account. Another thing I want to talk about is limits. Never go above your limit or you will have to pay penalties. So make sure you look at your notice of assessment, take a look at what the RRSP room is, or in simplest form, 18% of your income can be put against your RRSP. And there's always annual limits that you have to make sure you reference and you take a look at before making that decision. Okay. One quick tip I have for everyone. I think I am also a culprit of making that mistake. Initially, when I started investing in RRSPs and the tax refund check, when it used to come, it was always my vacation money. As soon as I saw a tax refund check, I decided to go take a vacation or buy a new piece of furniture or get a new driveway or something like that. I would highly recommend that you don't do that, okay? When we save money for our retirement, we should keep it. It's called goal-based investing. The goal is to invest for your future, for your retirement. Don't use that money for anything else. A lot of us feel that the refund that's coming from my tax is my money. Well, it's not. Let's take a look. So I deposited $10,000 into my RRSP, and let's say on average, I get a refund of $3,500 from taxation, from CRA. I get that $3,500, I spend it, I have fun, and I feel, wow, what a nice way of saving money. I saved $10,000 and right away, I got $3,500 back. However, when you withdraw that $10,000 and the tax withholding percentage is 20%, and when in your hand you only got $8,000, you feel, I didn't really save $10,000, okay? I'm using a very simplest form of this example. So what you need to do is that when that refund comes, make sure you invest it. So instead of investing $10,000, you're actually investing $10,500. So when you are investing $13,500 instead of your own $10,000, the impact of that refund reinvested in 20, 30, 40 years is humongous. Okay, I can do those calculations for you anytime, not a problem. Reach out to me, but take my advice and take that refund and please reinvest it back in your TFSA. In my next video, we're going to be talking about tax-free savings account. I hope you've enjoyed this session. RRSP is a great way of saving money for your future, but it's not for everybody. Business owners, you need to make sure you have enough earned income, net income, to make sure that you can benefit from RRSPs and save for your future, secure your future. If there is any questions, please feel free to reach out and I am here for you. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying the stay home time with your family. It's hard, it's tough for kids, but you know what? We can always make it better for everyone, for you and me both. Thank you and take care of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel, and please feel free to send me your feedback, positive and negative both. Thanks a lot.